Welcome to the Conquer Food podcast with Craig and Paula Williams, where we share tips, tricks and strategies from the coalface of the weight loss industry in the UK. We're going to help you to think, eat and move better. Ultimately, we're going to help you finally gain control and conquer food. Now then, how's it going? Welcome to the Conquer Food Show. I'm your host today, Craig Williams. Normally it's me and my wife Paula that do these podcasts, but this is a little solo cast because she's busy absolutely stripping down, replacing carpets, painting, you name it. She's completely redecorating the Manor, which is where we host Bootcamp and the Conquer Food program from. So she's caught up with that, and I've got this job of kind of doing this kind of stuff, but she's doing the real graft. In today's podcast, what I want to talk about is I want to answer a couple of questions that I've had recently, and that's like, why should we consider boot camp or a boot camp sort of retreat for weight loss or fat loss? What are the kind of benefits to it? What am I going to get over? Other ways of trying to lose weight and all this kind of stuff. So I'm going to talk about that. There's a couple of things, a couple of points, probably about 7 or 8 points I want to bring out and talk about and give you a very insightful comments on it, really, because Paula and I have been working in the bootcamp industry for probably around a decade now. We know it really, really well. We're at the forefront of the industry in the UK, and I think you'll have some good insight from it. So if you're thinking about coming to bootcamp, whether it's to lose weight, boost some fitness, or just have a break and take care of yourself for a while, this podcast episode is exactly for you. Okay, so before we crack on, I just want you to know that it's really important for us to have reviews and testimonials and all that kind of thing on our iTunes, on Stitcher, on YouTube, wherever you're listening to this. It'd be really helpful if you could leave us a short review, a 5-star review, and that will do two things. First of all, it'll let me know that we're talking about the right things and we're giving you the show that you want, but also it'll help other people find us. And there are some people out there really, really struggling, and I hate the thought of that. So if you can leave us a review on whatever platform you're on, that'd be immense. The other thing is that we have a little bit of free training for you. Currently, we're running an online virtual bootcamp. The way to access that is to go to virtual-bootcamp.com on any search engine, and then you'll be able to kind of find it there. Completely free. Paula and I got a load of stuff on there, from workouts to coaching sessions to meditation. These podcasts as well, you name it, is on there. So check it out. Okay, let's get into it. So the metaphor that I want to use for bootcamp and coming to bootcamp is really quite simple. There's two metaphors, two ways to look at it. Okay, now you can either, when you've got a plaster, right, and it's all stuck to the hairs and it's been on there a while and you want to get it off, you can either agonizingly rip it off hair by hair, or you can just grab it and just rip it off in one go, and you get an intense pain, and it hurts like hell, but it's done and dusted, and after a while it dies down and you crack on and that. So rather than draw out pain and agony, you're just ripping it off. Or another analogy is, in regards to learning to swim, you can either sort of get yourself in the shallow pool and just bob around a little bit and build up a little bit of confidence and paddle around a bit. And then as you got a bit more confident, you can sort of go a little bit deeper and all this. Or you can just 100% just launch yourself into the deep end, as a different way to swim. And that's exactly what it's like coming to boot camp. It is tough, okay? I want you to understand that when I say tough, it's tough for everybody, regardless of your fitness ability, your training experience, your cardiovascular capacity, whatever it is, regardless of all that, it is going to be tough. The program is designed to really, really make you work, to absolutely exhaust you of all your easily accessible sugars and energies that's in your body, so that we can start tapping into the fat stores. That's fundamentally what we're talking about here, but it is scaled to you. Okay, so this is what I want to say. My first point is that with regards to boot camp, you don't need to think about it. You just need to get yourself there and then follow the program, and everything else is taken care of. Now, I know if you're anything like me, and I was trying to battle weight for a very long time, and I never, I was always sort of second guessing it. The latest fad would come out and I'd tend to second guess what I'd done. And I always sort of tended to feel like I'd let myself down, or I'd not quite made it again, and I was a failure again, and all this kind of stuff, because I was constantly having to think with all this, being bombarded by different diets and tactics and ways of losing weight, and the next big exercise and the next big, workout kit, whatever it was. And it was just constant. Whereas with bootcamp, you don't even have to worry about any of that kind of stuff. Paula and I always say that losing weight at bootcamp is guaranteed. You stick to the program, it cannot not work. Okay, there's been a tiny handful of people in a decade that have struggled to lose weight at bootcamp. The hardest thing is kind of sticking to the program and seeing the program through, because if you do that, you're going to get the results you want, and you simply don't think about it. And so many people come to bootcamp and love the fact that they no longer have to think about the kids, getting them up, getting them dressed, getting them bloody ready for school, feeding them, sorting them out when they get back from school or whatever. They no longer need to think about running a house, running a family, going to work, doing whatever. They can just completely get themselves, and just go on autopilot and just work on and getting through the day, knowing that when they get to the end of the week, they're going to feel immense. The second point that I want to, the second benefit is that you truly are, like throwing yourself in the pool, you are fully submerged in it. Okay, quite often when we're trying to achieve stuff, we kind of just dip a toe a little bit and we just do little bits, and it's really slow progress because we're not concentrating. Our attention is diverted over all sorts of different things that we're trying to juggle. With bootcamp, you're completely submerged with it. But not only are you sort of caught up in the whole program, you've got loads of other people around you as well, all doing the same thing, and you truly get carried away. And by the end of the week, you're like, wow, I've made some amazing friends. I've got some great results, and quicker than I ever would have done. And that brings me on to my third point, which is that, it is rapid weight loss. Now, I need to caveat that with regards to weight. What does that actually mean? And I'm going to talk about that in the next podcast, physiologically, what happens when you do it at bootcamp. But for now, you do get a significant drop in weight. Okay. Now, whether that's energy, water, whether it's fat, whatever it is, okay, you do get a massive drop in weight. Our record is 26 pounds in a week, which you would think is absolutely impossible when you look at like industry standard and all that kind of stuff. But we've seen it. We've regularly seen 20 pounders. We often see double figures, 10 pounds plus, often quite a lot more than that. To come, and especially sort of a middle-aged male that's active and is quite robust, not carrying any pre-existing injuries or anything like that, they can easily bang out a stone in a week, in their first week. So it is rapid weight loss, weight in inverted commas. But the other benefits to that as well, there is a dramatic difference in how bloated you are, how sluggish you feel. You'll feel energized. When we talk about the results being rapid weight loss, so fundamentally that's what you guys want. If you're considering bootcamp, that's what you're thinking about. Shave off a few pounds, a few kilos or whatever, and kickstart something new. And fundamentally that's what happens, and it happens quickly. You don't have to wait 2 or 3 weeks to get into a fitness program to start seeing results. You see it within a week, and it really, really is quick. Next thing then is it's a controlled diet, and the reason why that's a massive benefit is because often people we get caught up in, how do I burn this many calories? How do I burn this many calories? The best way to get rid of those calories is to never eat them in the first place. And this tends to be the thing that we struggle with most. Because, logically, we know that if I eat this chocolate bar, I'm going to pile on a few pounds, and it's not what I want to do. That doesn't align with my goals. But when emotions get in the way and you're bored, you're fed up, you've had a bit of a crappy day, it's the evening, your willpower's really low, all of a sudden you find yourself dipping your bloody chocolate bar in your cup of tea and you're cracking on like there's bloody, like you don't care, But with a controlled diet, everything is kind of scripted for you. There is no cheating because it's just not available. And literally all you need to do is pick the food up that you're given and put it into your mouth, and everything else is kind of done. And again, it's that thing of like, sometimes having to think about your meals and plan your meals and prepare them up front and all this kind of stuff. It is really, really tiring. And not everybody loves cooking and preparing food. I hate it, So if I could have a controlled diet that I know is going to give me the results that I want, that's set for my body type and my body size and the results I want, then I'm all over that. That's a massive benefit. Another benefit is the camaraderie that you will experience at Bootcamp. There is, I think it's the third biggest fear when we've done like questionnaires and what have you, and we spoke to people and said, what is your biggest fear about coming to Bootcamp? The third biggest fear is that they won't fit in, that, they're worried that there's going to be a big group. Perhaps they're the one at school that was always picked last or whatever, and they're just kind of worried about that. But I can honestly say that friendships are formed at Bootcamp like you will never form anywhere else, because everybody's going through something really arduous. And in my time in the Marines, I created like a brotherhood with the people that I worked with, the people that I went through some real crap with. And because it's so tough, we say that adversity exposes character. And that character, when you get an insight into somebody at almost their lowest point, the point in which they have never had to work as hard before, it really does give an insight into a person. And because you're alongside them and they're alongside you, you do form incredible friendships. So there's a massive component of Bootcamp, which is about the people that are around you. And some people you're not going to get on with, obviously, but many people you will. And because you've got a shared goal, it is completely different. And Bootcamp it's almost like, it's a bit like Big Brother in that it's its own little environment and its own little society, and you can be someone different there, someone that you wouldn't normally be at home because you have to put on different airs and graces and that kind of thing. So, you do form some incredible friendships. And I know loads of people that are still friends, people that they met during their first week at Bootcamp. I know people that got married after their first week at Bootcamp, just incredible friendships and relationships that are formed whilst you're going through this challenge. Another benefit is the fact that you're going to get to the end of the week and you are going to have an incredible sense of achievement. And with that comes a huge, massive dollop of pride. And quite often I will poll a group and say, right, when was the last time you truly felt proud? And a lot of people are like, I don't know, I can't remember really. It's been that long ago. And then I say to them, well, when was the last time that you truly challenged yourself? And it's the same answer. It's like, don't know. There is no pride without challenge. We have to go through something tough and arduous and real challenging in order to feel all these benefits of like achievement and pride and self-worth and self-esteem and confidence in yourself and all these things. And you're going to get a massive, massive bucket load of this come the end of the week because you will have gone through some tough stuff. And the Bootcamp trainers and the rest of the staff will be side by side with you and looking after you and helping wherever they can. But by the end of it, you're going to know that you are capable of so much more than you ever thought capable, ever thought you was capable of. So there is a massive, massive sense of achievement. And it's one of those byproducts of doing all the things that you have gone through. Like not only are you feeling leaner and fitter and energized and you've had loads of great sleep and that, but you're also brimming with pride and really proud of yourself. And no one will really understand that. I've had women come to boot camp and, their husbands have been like, yeah, it's a bit of boot camp, it's fat camp, whatever. And almost taking the mickey out of it. And then a couple of times the wives have managed to talk the husbands into coming. And vice versa, works both ways. And they're just blown away. And I've had one guy in tears watching his wife through a bedroom window, just going, I just can't believe what she's gone through every week for, whilst I've been taking the mickey out of her. So you're going to get that. The next thing that I've kind of touched on it already is that with Team Bootcamp, we've got the biggest staff. We're the biggest team from any boot camp, certainly in the UK. We've got more sort of client care, front of house, ambassadors, coaches. It's not just a case of having a trainer and a camp manager and a chef, which a lot of boot camps have. We have a a big, big team. And what that means and the reason for that is that because we tend to get more people long term or with bigger weight issues than other boot camps. We're not just like a fitness, like glamour boot camp where you just prance around on the beach in your bikini top and all that kind of stuff. We want real results for real people. And because of that, we do require a bit of a bigger team, which means that you're really well supported, and a lot of, especially the ambassadors, a lot of the things that you're going to go through, they will have experienced it themselves. We recruit our ambassadors through Bootcamp, and they know firsthand exactly what you're dealing with. And therefore, not only can they kind of sympathize with what's going on, but they can empathize with you and they can give you real-time advice and support. And we think that's crucial because, it is challenging, especially if you're somebody that's never done a day's training before in your life, or you hate the fact that someone's buggering about with your food and stripping all the sugar out of it and the portions are much smaller. You need support around you. So you definitely get that. And the next thing is that, it really is an immense Kickstarter for a whole new lifestyle. And at the start of the week when we do a little welcome brief, I often go around and say, okay, tell me what you're looking to achieve whilst you're here at Team Bootcamp or you're on the Conquer Food program or whatever. And then so many people say, I just want to kickstart something new, a new life, a new diet plan, new nutrition plan. My kids have left home and buggered off, or I've changed jobs, or I'm between jobs, or I'm about to get married, some pivotal moment in their life. And it's like, now it's time to concentrate on me, but I want to do something new, something different. And I thought I want to get a head start on it. So I want to kickstart something new. And that is one of the biggest benefits of Team Bootcamp. We really do line you up because of course, 4 to 5 hours of training every day is impossible in your own life. You're just not going to do it. And if you were going to, you just don't have the time, you don't have the resource or the capacity, perhaps even the knowledge and ability without getting injured to do that amount of training. And it's doubtful that you're going to restrict your portion sizes and sugar as much as you do at camp. But what Bootcamp will do is give you a massive head start on all of that. And we'll teach you how to implement a lot of the things that you learn and you experience in your own life. So there are a couple of benefits that I've kind of quickly pulled out that I wanted to share on this episode. Like I said, I'm going to do a follow-up episode to this where I'm going to talk about the actual results at Bootcamp. And I'm going to grab a couple of people in and have a small panel just to, get people talking about it, to give you like a bit of more than just my insight. But hopefully you found this of interest. So I must remember to get the music going again. I always seem to forget that. Like I said, if you found value of this little episode and you want to hear more, please leave us a 5-star review wherever you are, and also consider it sharing if you've got people that you think would benefit from this, or maybe you're expecting to come to Bootcamp with a friend and they might want to listen to this as well. And the other thing is, if you've got feedback or comments, if there's particular topics you want me to talk about or videos or whatever you want me to do, then please let me know. So until the next episode, take care.